Okay.
Hey guys, and welcome to Tnashi's Movie Corner. And today I am doing a video for the last matchup before we get to top 4 for the animated tournament. And we have Toy Story 3 versus Lion King. And in order to determine the winner of this matchup, we go based upon plot, main character, side character, songs, humor, villain / antagonist, cast, romance, action, themes, and memorability. So I'm going to get right into it and mark off several here because we actually ended up with several ties. So first off, for plot, we ended up being a tie. The plot for Toy Story 3 with the whole daycare thing and why they end up there, and then the actions that take place after being there and all that, leading to the ending that it had. Really makes sense and was a great way to wrap up the Toy Stories franchise, and really went well together. It was a consistent flow, scene by scene. When Lion King had a similar thing where the themes and everything were really held up well and translated well in scene by scene. Each kind of piece had a significance to the next one and all that. So we really couldn't give plot to either one of them. We had to tie it. And going down to humor was also a tie because both showcase they have quite a bit of humor in there, laugh out loud moments as well as chuckle moments, and they do a really good job of it. Same thing with cast, again, another tie, because Toy Story 3, even if you didn't agree, like with Toy Story, by this point, the actors and actresses define these characters and bring a lot to these characters. And for Lion King, it's the same way. You have these actors and actresses that really bring a lot to their characters and stand out as their characters. Going down to themes, there again, a tie. Themes are pretty strong in both movies and really bring something to both movies. So it was really hard to pick. And for memorability, it was also a tie because both of them have really standout scenes in there that just stay with you. For Toy Story 3 especially because it's kind of, again, the end of the series. But for Lion King, as a one-of, they're just so strong and impactful. So for those reasons, we had those be ties. And moving on to the actual points here for main character, Lion King won, and it was between Lion King. It was between Lion King. It was Simba and Woody, and Woody has a great kind of arc in a way when you look at him over the course of the other two movies and now at this point and how his character changes. But the change that happens within him is kind of insignificant compared to the plot, compared to the actual action taking place. It's just not a focus. Whereas Simba and his character arc is a big focus of the movie, and it's very relevant to the movie. And for side characters, we also gave it to Lion King. Kind of, again, Toy Story 3 has more side characters to it, but some of them are just insignificant. And some characters do lend well, but the side characters for Lion King are more involved with the plot and with the driving the main character where he needs to be. And you have, good side characters and bad side characters, but they're all such significance. Going with songs, we also gave that to Lion King. Honestly, Toy Story 3 just doesn't have as many songs, and it has a couple of reprises. It has a funny way of doing one song, but there's just not enough there to counteract the songs that are in Lion King and how good they are. Moving on to villain, we also gave that to Lion King. By now, you're getting a sense of where this is going. Lotso as a villain actually had a kind of a great background and was definitely a likable villain in his voice and his presence. But you can say the same thing about Scar. And Lotso, some of his reasoning later on in the movie kind of gets thrown away, so you don't know why he's still doing what he's doing. Whereas Scar has had kind of the same goal the entire time, and they're both manipulative, but Scar in a bigger sense, and Scar in a way is the worst villain because of what he's willing to do to family to get what he wants. Moving on to romance, again, Lion King. The romance in Toy Story 3, you could have Barbie and Ken, which is just kind of humorously, but just kind of thrown at you right off the bat. So it didn't quite work. And then you have the romance between Buzz and Jessie, but it's really one-sided all the way up to near the very end, or it comes across as being one-sided. Whereas the Nala and Simba romance fits really well, and you see it like kind of develop over time, and they don't even necessarily know at first what they're feeling. So I think for that kind of reasoning, it works. And then for action, finally, we also gave it to Lion King. They both have action scenes, so we didn't want to just base it upon the action itself. So when we went on it, we went by kind of the emotional significance of the action scenes and what they brought out. And Toy Story 3 had one real scene that did this near the very end of the movie, where all the characters might die, and then how they interact because of that. But with Lion King, you have the stampede scene, which is just one of those scenes that really resonates with a person. And then you have the final battle and kind of the drive in that one and what it means, and again, going with the imagery and stuff that is showcased, the memorability aspect of it really works well, and just kind of the resolution of the whole thing really fits well. So yeah, unfortunately this was again another kind of one-sided battle, because if we take out the ties, then Lion King basically won by 6. So I did this matchup. I did it 3 times because I guess I couldn't quite believe that it would be this way. Toy Story 3 for me, it's my favorite of the Toy Story movies, and I like the movie so much. I think the movie's so good. I like Lion King too, but I guess I didn't expect it to be so one-sided, and that's what it ended up being. And it's rather disappointing in a way, just because of how much I appreciate Toy Story 3 as a movie and as the conclusion. But that happens. I gotta go by what what each of the movies brings, and we don't necessarily when we do these points, it's strictly straight across. Okay, 1 point, 1 point. Not, well, this movie had so much of this that it ends up getting, more than 1 point. Because if we did that, it would have been just a mess. Although it would have made the Beauty and the Beast matchup a little easier to deal with too, probably. But anyway, yeah. So that's the end of this. Like I said, Lion King wins, and I do think it deserves it. It surprised me by how much, but that happens. We are now entering into the top four, and our top four matchups are Aladdin versus Tarzan and Toy Story versus Lion King. It surprised me that would happen. I didn't want that to happen, but it's happening. So, anyway, go ahead and let me know in the comments below what you think. Did you agree with this result? And what are your thoughts on the next two matches? Who do you think is going to win in each match? Hopefully you enjoy this vid and click that like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and watch my other vids. And be sure to check out my 'Tis the Season giveaway that I'm doing. You have until the end of November to submit your entries. So, like I said, that'll wrap this up. So, thanks, and until next time, peace.